Celtic Myths and Legends by T.W. Rolleston. Chapter 8 The Myths and Tales of the Cymry. Chrestien de Troyes. De Troyes? Maybe you don't say the S. Lastly and chiefly, we have the work of the French poet Chrestien de Troyes, who began in 1165 of the Common Era to translate Breton lace like Marie de Franck, and who practically brought the Arthurian saga into the poetic literature of Europe and gave it its main outline and character. He wrote a Tristan now lost. He, if not Walter Map, introduced Lancelot of the Lake into the story. He wrote a Conte del Graal, in which the Grail legend and Percival make their first appearance, though he left the story unfinished and does not tell us what the Grail really was. Strange as it may seem, the character of this object was by no means fixed from the beginning. In the poem of Wolfram von Eschenbach, it is a stone endowed with magical properties. The word is derived by early fabulists from grabel, something pleasant to possess and enjoy, and out of which one could have a sangre, whatever he chose of good things. The Grail legend will be dealt with later in connexion with the Welsh tale Peredur, which connects to a nickname that Aleister Crowley took upon himself, but he also wrote a long Conte de Aventura entitled Erec, containing the story of Geraint and Enid. These are the earliest poems we possess in which the Arthur of chivalric legend comes predominantly forward. What were the sources of Chrestien? No doubt they were largely Breton. Troyes is in Champagne, which had been united to Blois in 1019 by Eudes, Count of Blois, and reunited again after a period of dispossession by Count Theobald de Blois in 1128, Era Vulgaris. Marie, Countess of Champagne, was Chrestien's patroness, and there were close connexions between the ruling princes of Blois and of Brittany. Alain II, Duke of Brittany, had in the 10th century married a sister of the Count de Blois, and in the first quarter of the 13th century, Jean I of Brittany married Blanc to Champagne, while their daughter Alix married Jean de Chastillon, Count of Blois, in 1254. It is highly probable, therefore, that through minstrels who attended their Breton lords at the court of Blois, from the middle of the 10th century onwards, a great many Breton lace and legends found their way into French literature during the 11th, 12th, and 13th centuries. But it is also certain that the Breton legends themselves have been strongly affected by French influences, and that to the matière de Franck, and it was called by medieval writers the legends of Charlemagne and his paladins. We owe the Table Round and the chivalric institutions ascribed to Arthur's court at Caerleon on Usk, and the other great storehouses of poetic legend The Matière de Bretagne, the Arthurian saga of that sort, is distinguished from the Matière de Franck,